Hello once again, my name is Jennifer Carvajal, and for my second video of today I will be talking about the classic film Some Like It Hot. It's one of my favorite films from 1959. It's a really old one, but it's still really good. And we're going to analyze it using the Laura Mulvey's Mel Gaze theory, And, Marilyn Monroe, the person that Sugar Cane is portraying, she's amazing and she's beautiful. But I'm going to take a closer look at how her character, Sugar Cane, like I've mentioned, and the way she's portrayed fits into the idea of the male gaze theory in cinema. So, first of all, if you're not familiar with the Laura Mulvey's male gaze theory, is this idea that in films, women are often shown as objects or like a desire for men and like the audience, especially male characters, and the male audience, basically the camera and the storyline tends to always focus on like woman's body and their beauty and making her almost seem as like an object. And a lot of times in films, women are usually sexualized, so it's kind of about how women are looked at rather than what they do. Now let's see how Some Like It Hot fits into this theory. Okay, so one of the very first big moments with Sugar Cane in the movie is when Marilyn Monroe walks into the room and the camera is completely focused on her, showing all her curves, showing all her body, especially like just in specific her body. Yeah. You can see how they purposely focus on her physical experience rather on what she was doing. And the way she's shot, like camera angles wise, definitely emphasizes her sex appeal. She's introduced like a showgirl, and everything about the way the scene is filmed is made more to like draw attention to her looks, which is a pretty clear example of the male gaze, if in my opinion. And then there's another scene where Sugar sings "I Want to Be Loved by You," the famous song, and it's a classical moment, but if you look at how it's filmed, you can see, and it's pretty clear that the camera mainly focuses on her movements and her body once again while she's performing and singing. Her physical appearance takes center stage, which is what the male gaze theory is all about, because it's once again focusing on her body and her appearance rather than what she's doing. The camera angles, the way she's framed, it's all about making her this object, desire for the male attention and the male characters in the actual film. The song is catchy and it's one of my favorite hits, but the way it's presented kind of reinforces her as something to look at and not just someone who's performing, like what a performer would do. But yeah, so those are really two good examples on what I mean, that the Laura Mulvey's male gaze theory is really shown in the movie. But throughout the whole movie in general, like Sugar is constantly getting sexualized and pursued and being pursued by many men. And her storyline is largely about her relationships with male characters, so I can't even say that that's not what the film is about. But, she's also kind of doing other things rather than just, they shouldn't have just sexualized that. But anyways, so yeah, sure, she's got her own story and desires, but a lot of the time the film revolves around how these men see her and how they react to her looks. So this is exactly how the male gaze works, because, women are often portrayed as objects for men to desire and pursue. But I also want to say that even though Sugar Cane is definitely shown through the male gaze, she's not completely powerless, because she has a sense of like agency, and she also makes choices for herself, like how she decides to pursue a relationship on her own terms and stuff like that. So she does have like her own choices and stuff, but she's often objectified and often sexualized throughout this whole thing. So in a way, it's like an uneven, so she does have her moments where she gets to take like charge of her own narrative, which is kind of cool, but like it still doesn't totally break free from the objectification that Mulvey talks about, the theory that we're talking about. So anyways, so to wrap this video up, the movie Some Like It Hot is a great example of how the male gaze works in cinema. Marilyn Monroe's character Sugarcane is often framed in a way that highlights her physical appearance, making her an object of desire for the male characters. And not just that, but the audience as well. So while she's definitely more than just a pretty face, the way she's filmed and portrayed just fits a lot into the ideas that Laura Mulvey talks about, and with the male gaze theory. And yeah, I just personally agree that, you know, like in this film is really good, and I just really think that the actor could have gotten a better way to express herself rather than just like the camera people focusing on her body and stuff. But yeah, so thanks for listening, and I hope you found this analysis really interesting as much as I did. Thank you.